cord. Gone. Haha, look, I'm learning things. Not the greatest at software, but here we go. Yeah, we have, hey Sprinkle, we have a few bots that we've programmed. Well, I say we, I mean exclusively Lady Lapine has a few bots that she's, not a few bots, it's the same bot, but she helps manage things instead of it just being me managing everything that a bot could help us do. And we get a lot of people that come in going, my question is, and I'm like, I can read tarot, but I am nowhere near as good at it as Lapine is. Are you sure you want to do that? No, you don't. I promise. I promise you don't. I will have to look at the book so many times. You will be so disappointed in me. And besides, usually when I... What? Did I do something wrong? Okay.
You want to look nice.
I mean, I can be floating.
No.
No? Okay.
Like that.
He doesn't like it.
You shouldn't like it either.
We're getting shuffled. Oh, okay, I think I'm done being shuffled. But yeah, we have the bot that helps us with like the queue and the questions and stuff when we're having tarot streams, and then yeah, we'll get people coming in at random times going, I don't think, and I just have to go, I don't know. Yeah. And I mean, patience is a virtue. What really gets me is when we're very clear about don't ask questions about people that aren't yourself, and then they do anyway and get frustrated. But that's neither here nor there. It's all good. It's honestly been going great. I am doing okay. I had well, I'm very Mercury dominant. I think we talked about that, and I think our little boy was just throwing a temper tantrum last week with the last week of the retrograde, and I feel like he took it out exclusively on me. I know that that's not the case. I know that everybody had a difficult week, but good night. But we are direct again. Still in the shadow period for a little while. As one last hurrah, though, as one last little kick to that temper tantrum that he was having, though, we're out of printer ink, so I couldn't print my chart. So if you would like, you can go on to Astroseek and open up the planetary positions for this moment. I can copy paste the link real quick, one moment. And I will share this with you, and you can follow along, I hope. Let's see. The moment of truth. Is the link too long? Oh yeah, that link is way too long. Ooh, what did I do? I just froze the whole thing up. Did I? Look at this nightmare. Hang on. I'll fix it. Delete. Delete. Oh my goodness. That's fine. We're having an adventure, Sprinkle. I hope that's okay. Hi. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I always forget that they make like behemoth links. Let's see if this one's better. Huh? Okay. Let's see. Try that one. That's much more reasonable. There we go. We have a link that is not 8,000 years long. Hooray. Joy of joys. Yes, thank God it has gone direct. Amen. Because I was trying to get my notes. I was literally getting my notes together on Sunday to go live. And I just proceeded to have, and I get wishy-washy about things. I have some anxiety issues, and I always like second guess myself about what I'm doing, and I'm like, is this really what I need to be doing? And I I just like, I usually like throw little temper tantrums and inside and stuff when I don't want to do something because I'm nervous, but I just, on Sunday morning at about 9 in the morning when I was getting all of my notes together last week, I just had this like gut instinctual absolutely not. And the difference I've learned between intuition and anxiety is that anxiety ends in a question and intuition ends with a period, like a period end, like a sentence. But this one had like Barry White's voice added to it for extra effect. And yeah, I couldn't do it. It is in fact Sunday. You're going through it too, huh, Sprinkle? So I took that as my cue. I don't know who told me that. It could have just been very well been my mind, but the absolute like period end full stop, we are not doing it today. I went, okay, I'm going to try to go back to bed. And then I tried to go back to bed and the pipe that drains our washing machine is connected throughout the building, and someone else had just moved in to an apartment that hadn't been used in a while, and they used the washing machine, and I guess a bunch of dust had like lodged up in there, and they used the washing machine and proceeded to clog the entire building's washer drain pipes, so we had to deal with that for a few hours. Fortunately, where the washing machine sits is in like a breezeway with like stone tile and stuff, so it's not like a wood floor or anything that can get like saturated and ruined. But I was just like, really, this is what I have to do after I cancel my stream. Okay. So I'm guessing that the Barry White was warning me not to do my streams so that we could deal with the washing machine leak, but also I was just tired. I was just so tired. And that just kind of carried on throughout the rest of the week. And yeah, we had the new moon eclipse on the 18th. And I think it was the last kick in the pants as the mutable heavy one that I am. And I'm not feeling bad anymore. I'm not going through that anymore. I've like reverted back to neutral at least. So I think I'm doing okay. A long roundabout way of saying I think I'm okay. Tentatively. My notes are escaping. Hang on 1 second. How have you been? How has Mercury been destroying you with his retrograde? What's been going on? Fellow Mercury dominant heavy person. Hello? There we go. Let's talk about it. We can talk about it a little bit. We had another eclipse. No, this was the new moon that closed out eclipse season. Did I say eclipse? I'm sorry. We had the Pisces new moon on the 18th. The last one was on the 3rd, and we then did the whole moon cycle around it to close out the eclipse season. So now it is completely done, and we can wash our hands clean of that. But we were waiting for that last new moon for any of the, like, the big bulk of the effects happen, like, in between the two eclipses, right? But, like, you can still feel, like, dregs of it. Things can still be feeling like they're going too fast until that full cycle after it. So eclipse season, as far as I have learned, has been, you know, like your eclipse window, but like the full moon cycle before and the full moon cycle afterwards. So we went from that full moon over to the new moon, and now we have reset, and now the eclipse season is formally done. So, yeah, and that was like the last one in Pisces. It was at 28 degrees. Everything has been at 28 degrees these last like 5 months. All of the new moons have been like 27 or 28 degrees. And you're hitting some like the, it starts with an A, but like the critical end of the pie slices, for lack of a better word. Hello, Story. How are you doing? We're talking about how last week absolutely handed my butt to me and why I had to skip last Sunday, and now we're talking about the last new moon that was on the 18th in Pisces at 28 degrees and how it just wrecked me one last time before the mutables are done for a minute. Anyway, yeah, so eclipse seasons are a lot longer than just the eclipses. It makes it really, really stressful. But we're doing better. I'm doing a little better. I have reverted back to neutral. Sprinkle despises life at the moment. How are you doing, Story? Does anybody have any good news for us? My printer is out of ink, so we have the link to the current planetary charts if you would like to click on it and follow along when we get going. I do have a fun project for us when we get done with all of the stars and stuff. What happened? Everything happened. Everything that could have happened did. Yeah, for real. I don't have a stellium in Virgo, but I have a bunch going on in Virgo. My Pisces is fairly empty, but my MC is at the 0 degree of Pisces, so it's still very important. The Gemini, my Mars is Gemini ascendant. And so I'm very mutable, and it's just exhausting. So, I don't know. I just mostly hit a wall last week, Story, and I'm blaming Mercury retrograde. Tasty, you've been working on me. Yeah, it's a long one, so get ready for a little mini book. That's why it's been taking me so long. Let me know if there's anywhere in particular you want me to focus. Your MC is in Gemini? Yeah. Let me know if there's anywhere in particular you'd like me to focus, and I can kind of revamp it. Right now I'm just kind of doing a general. Yeah, mutable heavy. As little Mercury babies gotta stick together. Mercurials. But what are the options? I don't know. Like I said, this is kind of my practice run for you, Story. So if there's anything in particular you want me to focus, like any facets of the relationships or whatever, let me know and I can work on it. You're just kind of my practice run. I've got, so far, I guess I will let you know, I've got like 2 pages each on things that I noticed about yours, and the others is like charts separately, and now I'm just kind of like putting them together. But if there's any like aspects of the relationship or anything that you'd like to focus on, if you don't want to tell me here, you can just email it over to Lady Lapine or something, and that would be fine. I sound so delicate when I say that. No, I don't even remember what I said. Hi, good morning. But I promise I'm not particularly delicate. I just hit a wall. Why has he had such a massive effect on me? Well, I am addressing that, so that is good. Okay. I can absolutely see that. Okay, why? What kind of effect? Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Now, there's a handful of transits that I was noticing, so. Alrighty, my dears. Let's see. Okay. So, I was gone last week, of course, on one of the most important weeks of the year so far. Of course, I had to tap out for it. But like I was telling Sprinkle, on Sunday morning, I was getting my notes together for the week, and at about 9 in the morning, when I go live at 10, I struggle with like anxiety and stuff, so I'm always second guessing myself, and maybe I shouldn't do this, and maybe I shouldn't do this, but it's never anything like direct, so I discern like my anxiety from intuition by realizing that anxiety usually ends in a question mark, and my intuition ends in a full stop. And so at about 9 in the morning last week, I was getting my notes together, and I just heard in like just the deepest corner of my soul no, like a full stop no. But it wasn't just a no. It wasn't like me saying no. It was like Barry White coming in through my mind telling me no. So I just canceled. And everything happened. And we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. But last week had a lot. We had the closing chapter of our eclipse season. If you'll remember, Sprinkle did point out that the last eclipse was on the 3rd. But we go through the full moon cycle after the last eclipse for it to finally be done. So the full moon was at, not the full moon, excuse me, the new moon at 28 degrees Pisces was the closing curtain for that eclipse season, and that was on the 18th. It do in fact be like that sometimes. If Barry White comes into your mind and tells you no, you listen to him. It was deep story. I don't know why. Like, it just like a soul shaking kind of no. And I went, okay, I'm gonna listen to this. And then, like I told Sprinkle, my washing machine drain pipe proceeded to get clogged up with somebody else's, I guess, dust, because someone else moved into the building and it hadn't been used in a while. So I had to deal with that right after. So, I mean, like, the intuition was right. Not for the reason that I thought it was going to be. I had to deal with that backup instead of resting. But, like, yeah, your sun is at 28 degrees Pisces. Yeah, how did that... Or 26, excuse me. How did that eclipse do you? Like you said, you're feeling pretty awful. Did it kick you in the pants, too, Sprinkle? Because that's a pretty critical degree. Also, happy late birthday. But yeah, it was dramatic story. Like, and so I was like, that's not anxiety. That's not anxiety. That's intuition. I need to not do something. So I didn't, and it worked out. But yes, we have a wonderful little treat for you. I've got this lovely setup to work on after we're done. They're little achievement markers for a friend's game that they've got going, that they've been working on the coding for, him and his wife. I'm going to work on some of the coloring of that. But also, we have at our disposal with which to work on it, new paint. Instead of my little palette, that's okay, I'm okay. I got myself real, honest to God, watercolors. I haven't used them yet, so we get to do the swatches together. We have our little swatch box where I go in and I paint what each color looks like. We get to do that together, and I'm so excited. Thank you, Sprinkle. I do have an Instagram if anyone is so inclined. I do more traditional stuff. Lady Lapine likes to do the digital. But anyway, so last week we had a bunch, and I think that's part of why we were all so tired and why the world proceeded to hand all of our butts to us. We had that eclipse, not eclipse, we had the closeout, we had the new moon that was closing out the eclipse season. The last, like, dregs of anything that needed to get brought up, got brought up, hopefully to be thrown away. We finished Mercury retrograde on the night of the 20th, or the wee hours of the 21st, depending on where you live. He's still in shadow right now, which is where... I mean, just knock things around, don't worry about it. If we say a shadow period, we have our planets. Well, let me get a cheaper piece of paper, 1 second. And this happens before and after an eclipse. On an eclipse. I am stuck on eclipses, I'm sorry. So before and after a retrograde, when a planet is going into the direction, it is still going forward, but it is in the degrees that it will backtrack. That is part of the shadow. We still call that a shadow period. Right? So when Mercury was just starting to get into Pisces and he was going through, I think he's gone direct at 7 or 8 degrees. So when he was like, when he got to 8 degrees and then proceeded to go through where he would backtrack. Yeah, where he would start. That is his pre-retrograde shadow. then he retrograded, and now he's back at 7 or 8 degrees, and he's going forward back to where he's already been. So these are the two shadows of a retrograde. Mercury has gone out of retrograde. He will still be in this shadow of backtracking where he has already been twice now. This is like, these are the lessons we're going to learn. Now you learn the lessons. Now you implement the lessons that you learned kind of motion, right? He will be going through this until April 9th. What in a nutshell was a significant... Okay, so look at where Virgo and Pisces are in your chart. These were the last, or this eclipse season was the last eclipse season on the North and South Node axis while they were on Virgo and Pisces. Our next eclipse season will be on the Aquarius and Leo axis. And basically this is like the closeout. So North Node is in a sign for, I believe, about 2 years. Check my work. But basically over the last 2 years, the North Node has been in Pisces, the South Node has been in Virgo, so you've been like going through all your little Virgo habits, picking out what's good, like going through it like Marie Kondo style, picking out what's good, useful to have, what's not serving anymore. Does this spark joy? Does this not spark joy? We've been going through that, and then on the Pisces side, we've been like trying to reach for more of the follow your dreams, the Neptunian themes that Pisces has, surrendering. You've been learning, we've been working towards learning how to surrender, working away from having a vice grip. Like, it is good to learn to control things within your reason, but don't 18 months on the notes, thank you. But don't cling on to it, and don't white knuckle things if it doesn't need to be white knuckled, right? So there's been a lot of like letting go. Yeah, no idea what's happening with the fish. I can go back and look for you story when I look at your chart again. But yeah, thank you for the reminder on the nodes. It's a learning process for me. But anyway, this was the last eclipse season on those. The next time that we have an eclipse season, we will be on the Aquarius and Leo axis, and we will be dealing with those. I believe the North Node will be going into Aquarius, yeah, and the South Node will be going into Leo. So that was like the closing curtain story of whatever you've been dealing with on those themes. Your Venus is at 3 degrees of Pisces. Yeah, that Sprinkle, you might have been dealing a lot with that in particular. The fish are suffocating. The fish are finally able to breathe again after this one. I have a friend like Sen who comes here, is also a Pisces, and she's been also going through it. But I'm hoping that my poor little fish babies will get put back into water and be able to breathe again now that Saturn is gone, and you'll be out of the axis here soon, and we're done with that stellium and right? So hopefully the fish will be able to breathe again soon. Hopefully all of the mutables will be able to breathe again soon, because, like, let's be real, we've been through it for about the last 3 years, right? Ever since Saturn got into Pisces, it's just been one thing after another, right? So now it's the Cardinals' turn. RIP. But, you know, just take the lessons we've learned over the last 3 years. Try to make the best of it. It's been a lot. So, eclipse season is done. Mercury retrograde is done. We are in shadow until April 9th, but nothing at the moment is retrograde until May 6th. So yes, things might still be a little bit fuzzy around the edges until about April 9th, but we are retrograde free until May 6th. And with this tying into the North Node is conjuncting Pluto. That's gonna be a while though, right? Like, North Node conjuncting Pluto, because the North Node goes backwards, so he's got to get through all of the late degrees of Aquarius before he conjuncts Pluto. So give me some time to do some research on that one, and I'll look into it for you, Sprinkle. We've got a good minute though for that to happen. Let me make a note so I don't forget. I wonder how long it's been since that's happened. Okay. Yeah, so look into. Pluto is at 3 or 4. Pluto is at 5. But the north node, since it constantly, the nodes move backwards, so I believe that the north nodes will start at 30 and work their way back to 5, and that will take a couple of years, or you said 18 months? So maybe about a year. Yes, exactly. It starts at 29, so we've got a minute. We've got a minute for that to happen, but I'll look into it for you and I'll see if I can find out. So we are retrograde free until May the 6th. So between the astrological new year, between everything, like, what else was it? Eclipse season being done, between everything with the fire horse, the everything else, everything being in Aries, all signs go, right? It might not start up, right away. You might not be seeing like immediate effects of what you've been working on, especially with this little shadow period right here until April. But the way that I'm looking at it as, like, you have to build up the momentum, right? So all signs point to go. Yesterday there was a really good trine between Mars and Jupiter that only happens, I believe, once a calendar year. And that's basically just, you're on a busy street of traffic and you just keep hitting green lights, basically, right? Like, it's go. It's time to go. Now, again, things may be fuzzy, and if you need to take a slower start, that's fine. But, it's time to get a ball rolling. If there's something that you've been neglecting to do, if there's something that you've been needing to do, wanting to do, whatever, it's a good time to start working on it, right? Whatever your calling has been doing. Hey, how are you doing? We're going over the stars. I missed last Sunday. This is Sprinkle and Story. There's someone on the Twitch side of things. There is no tarot today. I'm talking about astrology, and we will have our tarot stream tomorrow evening as scheduled. We are doing all right. Now that I'm done with last week, mostly. Last week was a doozy. But we're here. I'm back in neutral. We're good. I'm casually optimistic. What's happening with astrology? Yep, that's what we're going through. So right now, last week was a big one. We had the astrological new year in Aries. The start of the new year, spring equinox. Eclipse season closed out on the 18th with the new moon in Pisces. So that was the 18th. The new year was on the 20th. Also on the 20th, Mercury came out of retrograde, so there are no planets in retrograde between now and the 6th of May, not March. So it's basically all signs go. What's my big three? Virgo, Gemini, Scorpio. So Mercury retrograde every year happens to, or not every year, every Mercury retrograde hands me my butt. And I get mad about it, but that's okay. No, retrograde does in fact sound good. Yeah, so it's all signs point to go. And like I was just saying right before you came on, we had this really pretty trine yesterday that was Mars and Jupiter, which you still be feeling it pretty strongly. Today, tomorrow, and for a little while. And basically that is you're hitting green lights on a very busy street, like just all green lights. So it's time to go. Nothing's in retrograde. Things might still be a little bit fuzzy around the edges for a Mercury shadow period, like Mercury retrograde shadow period, post retrograde. But the way that I look at it as it's time to go. It might take a while for the momentum to build up, but you'll start seeing it here pretty soon. So, yeah, we talked about it a little bit, that trine. Mars is in Pisces, Jupiter's in Cancer. We get this trine once a year. We'll talk about it a little bit too. Confidence, you might be feeling a little more confident, you might be feeling a little braver, a little more ambitious. If you're not, you can look at things that you might need to be working on in these kinds of areas in your chart. If you've had any epiphanies over the last week, because last week was a big one for any kind of like realizations or anything that you might have needed to be having, you should kind of have more of an idea of what direction you need to go in. The way that I was looking at the interaction at this aspect is, yes, this is for everyone. No, this is for everyone. This is a general. If you want more specific stuff, I'm happy to help navigate you to places. This is kind of just my hobby. I'm learning it. I'm happy to do chart readings as practice runs, but I'm not quite... Yeah, so we're not doing individual, where this is just everybody. So this is a grab a coffee, hang out, have a chat. The way that I'm looking at Mars trining Jupiter is a bit of a fortune favors the bold kind of transit. So just go get him, Tiger. That's basically what this transit is, and you'll still be feeling it for a couple of days. Earlier last week, at the very start, with Mercury still being in retrograde, there were some other things happening. There could have been like some rose-colored glasses kind of moments where you might have been a little bit over optimistic about something, or, you know, bitten off a little bit more than you could chew or anything, something like that, right? Go back, if you haven't been already, go back and relook at those, and if there's anything that you're like, actually, wait a minute, I might could do something with this, now's a good time to go. Or if you've been planning starting a project for a long time, now's a good time. Look at like your watery signed themes. Especially Neptune is ruled by, or no, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So like look at those kinds of aspects, if there's anything in those facets of your life, especially like how they apply to your chart. You know, if there's anything you've been neglecting there that you've been wanting to do, or you kind of, you know, like maybe this is a good idea. It's a good time to see if you can get some wheels moving. Now, that brings us to today. Like I said, you should be able to still feel that trine for another day or two. So enjoy it, make the best of it, do something creative for me, feel your feelings, make a plan, and like even if it's a baby step, I'm sure they're fine with that. Should feel things falling into place finally to some extent. So today we have the Sun conjunct Neptune in Aries. You might have felt some of that creeping up. It goes exact today. And I will post this right here again. Let me see if I can. Here we go. I'll give you the smaller one. My printer is out. Normally I have a picture of the current planets ready and printed out, but we are out of ink. So I'm just gonna copy. And then I'll paste. Control all, copy. I'll paste this into here. For anyone who didn't earlier, feel free to click on it and follow along with me if you can and are so inclined. Today the Sun is conjunct Neptune in Aries. So this is kind of this is one of those casimis where the Sun like puts a spotlight on a planet, right? So the Sun is conjunct Neptune. These are both in Aries. They're at the first degree, which is a very important, like, get the ball rolling kind of degree. This is kind of the floodgates for your imagination opening wide. There could be some inspiration that really motivates you today, tomorrow. Neptune is dreamy, as she always is. But yeah, so be careful not to like chase any mirages or, you know, sign anything before you read it too closely. Like give it some thought, give it some consideration, because like Neptune she still be fogged. She does the fog and does the illusions and stuff. So like check your work before you run blindly into something. But it is a good time for like art, creativity, inspiration, especially as it pertains to like the Aries portions of your chart. But yeah, just be careful for like read closely before you sign anything. Don't promise anything you can't keep. Careful with the spacing out too badly. And also like she rules dreams, so if you get sleepy, you know, feel free to take a nap, take a break, take a rest. Make some art. Like I said, I cannot emphasize this enough. Make art. While Venus was in Pisces, I told you to find art. In the next couple of days, I want people to make art. It should be gorgeous. It should be fantastic. Now, there was a thing that I read. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. I really liked this quote. It said, "The sun's clarity mixed with Neptune's dreamy nature creates this beautiful contradiction where your artistic vision is crystal clear, but your grocery list somehow disappears into thin air." So, just try to find a tether to keep yourself grounded, but otherwise just enjoy just the artistic drive that you suddenly have, right? Enjoy the creativity, enjoy the daydreams. Just remember to, like, eat lunch, basically. But I really liked this one. I like that conjunction. It sounds fun. There's nothing major going on Tuesday. Just kind of a continuation of what's been going on already. Same for Tuesday. The moon's been doing things, but the moon be doing things. That's this channel's quote, is, or at least when I'm running it, is that the moon be doing things. So she be doing things. She does a lot of things in one day, so I don't keep track of every single thing. We'll talk about full moons and new moons and eclipses and such most of the time. So it's a good time to start doing a big, yeah, go Doji. And I'm being completely earnest. Do it. It would be fine. It would work great, because after we have this lovely little epiphany moment with your creativity, on Wednesday the sun is going to conjunct Saturn. And that is, and I guess I've been going long enough in this stream to say, get ready to lock the fuck in, basically. That is what this is saying. To me. So this is, Saturn is the quote-unquote strict teacher. I look at him more as my grandfather. He was a very aloof man that was very hard to read until you knew him better, and if you weren't doing what you needed to be doing for your own interest, like your own best interest, like, yes, he could be strict. But if you were doing what you needed to be doing, he kind of had a really dry sense of humor that you couldn't tell when he was smiling through his handlebar mustache, but you could see a sparkle in his eye. And just the driest jokes, but, like, he would always make sure you had what you needed to do what you needed to be doing. Go, Doji, go. Absolutely. So, he's a strict teacher because he sees your potential. And as long as you are doing what you need to be doing, he's fine. He's fine. And with the sun going conjunct, this is a very demanding to-do list. Like, this is coming up, this is giving big to-do list, right? This is giving the drive to actually do that to-do list. This is giving, owning your choices, working through your commitments, solidifying your plans, working your budget, cleaning the house. If there's a project that you've already been working on, Doji, like when you start that AMV animation project, that is working on that. It is, making a pretty solid dent in that if that's a long-term project. It's very practical, though. It is not particularly romantic like the Neptune conjunction was, but it is very practical. It is very useful. I am personally looking forward to this one. Take care, however, not to burn yourself out. There can be too much of a good thing, right? Remember to take a break. There's the good old Pomodoro method. There's a really cute channel on YouTube where the Pomodoro method has like the timer going, and there's like little lo-fi music going, and they're like little pixel cats that are just destroying a room over the course of said Pomodoro method. And I love it a lot. I can share it in our Discord if anyone is so inclined. But yeah, so remember the Pomodoro method if you lock in too hard, right? Remember to take your breaks. You can remember to keep the to-do list realistic, but also to do your best. And like I said, like, Saturn is seen as really strict, really mean, but really all Saturn wants is for you to do your best. Investing in yourself now will help build some lasting foundation that future you will absolutely be grateful for, just the next day or two around that Wednesday conjunction. Now, as I promised Sin, with this and what comes up after the rest of the week, just kind of set yourself maybe on Saturday or Sunday. Maybe say, I'm gonna buy myself a little treat if I can get through 80% of this to-do list or something, right? So give yourself a carrot at the end of the stick. But it will be a very good week for like locking in and getting through things that have desperately needed to be done for a while. Also on Wednesday we have the Sun sextiling Pluto, so it will be conjunct Saturn and sextiling Pluto. So we have, this one is not as dramatic as it sounds. The sextile, like we've talked about it a little bit. A trine, when you have your aspects, is a good thing usually, but it doesn't come with an off switch. It's when planets are 120 degrees apart, right? A sextile is when they are only 60 degrees apart. The sun has no off switch, but a sextile does. And so no off switch sounds great for positive things, right? But if you're not careful, that can be too much of a good thing. With the sun sextiling Pluto, I'm working on the carrot. Yep, there you go. The sun sextiling Pluto, there's an off switch. You can turn it off for a second to take a breather, take a break. But we have Saturn conjunct, and then Pluto sextiling a little bit. It's a good feeling. It's not as dramatic as it sounds. And you'll be accessing your own internal battery, and it'll be a gentle but powerful internal reorganization. There's some rediscovering some old strengths, letting go of bad habits. Maybe you're picking up a new one that's a good habit. There should be a little bit of an up in confidence, some more meaningful connections, more focus to go on, or to go after what's been left on the back burner. So this is just kind of continuing this theme that we'll see starting on Wednesday. Thursday keeps going. Venus is going to conjunct Chiron. They're still both in Aries. So look to Aries themes. Look at where it is in your planet. Nope, your chart for this one. We'll kind of be like reviewing some old relationships, including your relationship with yourself, and issues with it may be coming back up. That can leave you feeling vulnerable. But Venus can really help soothe the Chiron-related wounds and issues. If you are honest about where it hurts, like if you really sit down and you're honest and open about where whatever it is hurts, like wherever the bruise is, wherever the cut is, wherever this old internal wound that Chiron may have had on you is, Venus can really do a lot of work with helping you heal from it, right? Yeah, so Wednesday, this whole second half of the week so far, to me, is feeling house cleaning, internally and externally, right? Like in the northern hemisphere, it's spring. It's a good time for spring cleaning. So it just feels like internal and external spring cleaning. Thursday, Venus is conjuncting Chiron. No, we did that one already. Be honest where it hurts, right? Friday, Lilith is squaring Mercury. Lilith is in Sagittarius, Mercury's in Pisces. We did this one already while Mercury was in retrograde, but with him moving forward, it should feel a little more intentional. There's going to be more weight in your conversation. You're going to have feelings to say things that you normally keep under lock and key. Now, with him being out of retrograde, it feels a little less spontaneous or accidental. It feels a little like it could be a little more deliberate. And with him being out of retrograde, you should be able to hold your tongue until you can figure out how to say it, right? Like you should absolutely say the thing if it needs to be said, right? But like I got raised on, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And now, previously with him being in retrograde, I feel like maybe you could not control necessarily how you said it, but now that he is out of retrograde, you can be a little more thoughtful, a little more deliberate about how you say what needs to be said. This ties in well with the conjunction the day before with Venus Chiron, right? So tell me where it hurts, basically, right? Yeah, and this is all fine. Just choose your words wisely. Saturday, we have Saturn sextiling Pluto. We just had the Sun sextiling Pluto because he'll be pulling a little bit ahead of Saturn, right? Saturn will be sextiling Pluto completely. This again is feeling very spring cleany. It's very out with the old, in with the new. It's working well with Wednesday through Friday's themes. You can get deep into something without necessarily drowning in it. This sextile, again, remember, that comes with an off switch instead of a trine. So it doesn't necessarily feel as turning tables over and completely starting from scratch, right? As it could. You can get deep into something without drowning into it. These two work together to completely rework your internal house's framework. But right now with the sextile, it feels like they're doing it in such a way that you can keep living there, metaphorically, with minimal impact. Good opportunities for big changes on things that need to be addressed, but with minimal upheaval. So for this one, the recommendation is to work methodically, because it's Saturn and Pluto, right? To sort through what's not working anymore. Again, we're doing some more of this, right? Remember that Pluto is in Aquarius, Saturn is in Aries, so check your chart if you need to, see what's there. Are there any planets nearby? And look at the themes of those planets and those houses and see how they might be affecting you personally. And find something better to put in its place if it needs to go. Now, with this one in particular, you may also be put in a place of leadership or responsibility, but it is with something that you can leave a real impact on. So that is the week in a nutshell. We hit Aries season on March the 20th, so we are running headfirst into that. The themes for this type of month, I haven't done as deep of a dive into like what the planets are going to be doing this month as I did with Pisces right at the start of Pisces season, but we'll get there. We'll get there, I promise, guys. But there's going to be that huge stellium coming in this season. It is involving and or will involve the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and Chiron before it's all over. So it will be a very loud Aries season this year. Themes for Aries include like independence and running headfirst into things and charging forward, and this is the rebirth after the death that was Pisces season. There's no more surrender, there is only going forward. It's feeling like the drive we've been missing, because I know that I have certainly felt like I have had my foot on the floor of the, just on the gas pedal down to the floor, and the car has been in neutral the whole time. So now it feels like we're at least getting into first gear. It might take a little while for you to start seeing the effects, but the ball really should get rolling here pretty soon. A new push for independence and goal pursuit. There may be more spontaneity, more sense of adventure. Now, globally, because we're all in the loop here, you and me and everybody else, right? We're all in the loop. We know what Aries does. We know what Aries is good for, and we know how to apply it. The same star alignments are affecting good people, they are affecting bad people. Be aware of what the shadowy sides of all of this Aries energy can do. Do not let it overtake you, and keep an eye out for it in other people, right? Like, so Aries is good. Aries is all about charging forward. Aries is also some hot-headedness and some impulsivity, right? So keep your head on a swivel. You should have the energy to do that now that everything is in Aries, which is great. But yeah, watch out for yourself. I think it'll be fine as long as we know what we're looking for. But yeah, keep an eye out for shadowy sides of Aries and people that might not be so in the loop and or may not have somebody's best interest in mind, right? So I think for us, and on a personal level, it will be fine, but just keep an eye out. So that's basically our week in a nutshell. Pretty quick getting through all of it. Any questions? Any thoughts? Can be about this week in particular, last week, and or in general. Because if not, I'm super jazzed to work on my little project. Said I don't think you were here. I bought myself a little treat. This is my little treat. I got it early. It's actually for work stuff though. I guess it doesn't really count. I got new watercolors and I haven't used them at all yet because I was saving it for everybody, and we get to do the color swatches together. And then I have a whole sheet of an art commission from a friend of mine to work on. I'm very excited. Thoughts, questions, concerns, statements, observations, bad jokes? I'm open. Yeah! Yeah! Colors! New colors! Look at them! I'm so excited. It's way better than what I've been working on. So we get to do the color swatches together, and if Lady Lapine behind me would turn on the overhead light, that would be swell. Yeah! Let's go. So are we ready? Are we ready? Looks like it tastes good, doesn't it? God, you're so right. The little colors are on the bottom, so I have to make sure they all line up. Cadmium yellow. Okay, so it goes this way. I see. Okay, here we go. I've never had like a really fancy watercolor set like this. Whoa! Spilling it. That's okay. So I'm really excited to see how it is. Ooh. Neat. It does look like it tastes good. I'm willing to bet it doesn't, though. I mean... my biggest... it does look fancy, yeah. A little sweet candy box. Okay, there's a little bit of a difference. Yeah, I've always gotten like the little kids watercolor sets, so like the really travel watercolor sets, so okay. Oh, that was not correct. That's okay. Sorry I'm being quiet, I'm just so... it's a lot pinker than I expected. These colors look so red. And like, I know it says rose, right? But still, it's the principle of the matter. Okay, red is red. Wow, that's red. Sorry, I hope this is as fun for everybody else as it is for me. I expect it is with my friends and demographics, but still. I'm happy to talk about more star things too while I'm working on this. This is very mindless, I promise. As long as people are open for practice runs, yeah, sure. I'm happy to read charts. I'm not... I am self-taught and only just starting. But as long as they're okay with that, then yeah, I can go through it. They like me. They really like me. Looks like lipstick swatches on my towel. But yeah, I'm happy to look at charts. As long as you're willing to let me have practice runs. And if something doesn't vibe, you have to be willing to like tell me that it doesn't vibe. What's everybody's weeks planned? If we got go get 'em energy, what are we going to get? 500 subs in 1 week. All right, that's what May's got in for. Aralen. Okay. Oh. No. Start of an animation going, at least that's the plan. You have such good vibes for it this week. Honestly, you could start now. Because there's a good lineup between with Jupiter and Mars right now. Lemon yellow. Look at that lemon. Wow, that is lemon yellow. Greenish yellow. I don't know what I'm gonna do just yet. But it's a good week for whatever it is. I'm hoping I can like work on writing and stuff. I haven't done that in a while. I need to finish up Storytime Sinistry chart. And then somebody in the Discord wants me to look at their chart. And I said, that's fine as long as you're okay with practice runs. I really have an idea for something D&D, but that's a pretty big thing. Use it as promo for like, yeah. Absolutely. Whoa, the lime! This is so cool, gang. I'm so sorry. I'm not like talking. Help with renovations. Ooh, what are we renovating? Is it at least anything fun that needs renovated that's like exciting, or is it just boring renovations? Oh, I got sap green. I can finally keep up with Bob Ross. No, he does oils. It's an entirely different methodology. Yeah, I watch Bob Ross. They're constantly marathoning him on YouTube, and I tend to watch him when I'm like having a bad day. Very soothing. If you don't, and you have a bad day, I highly recommend Bob Ross. Very soothing. No judgment. Sometimes he has random little animals. Very good. Sap green. Paint some happy little trees. Yeah. It's true. Boring renovation can be fun. Bathroom. I mean, arguably, if there's redesigning involved with it too, it is very exciting. But my grandma had a soft spot for interior design, so. Oh well, the next time you're having a bad day, Doji, just watch a man paint some happy little trees, and suddenly life doesn't feel quite so bad. Are these colors? That's so cool. Everything was like, I don't know, I don't think watercolor artists need like this many colors. I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna have the chance to buy this many colors again, so I'm just gonna buy them. I have 3 different types of sap green. I'm so ready. Bob Ross, watch out, here I come. I'll be Rob Boss.
Final level.
They are so bright. It's really nice. It came with really high ratings. I was leaning towards a different brands, but this one was like the most bang for my buck and came very highly rated, which I see why. But then again, I've only ever really worked with children's watercolors before, so this is kind of a new experience for me. Yeah, Bob Ross. He's so good. I was having that really bad day on Thursday or so, and I just put him on, and he had a baby bird that was just hanging out with him. It made me feel so much better. I'm sore. I don't know, I was kind of a big fan of Rob Boss, but yeah, that's good too. Ooh. This is so exciting. Guys. Now, would it be Bob Sore or would it be Sore Bob? Because if we're just gonna go completely backwards, right? Pretty. It's the Girl Scout color. Foam. We went to the beach yesterday and the tide was really low, so the rock picking was very good. Exactly, Doji. You get it. I don't know. I know I'm not talking much, but I feel like this is still peak content right here. R/oddly satisfying. Watch out. That's the anti-Bob Ross. So that's half of it. Wow, that's only half of it. Man. Guys, we really can talk about Star still if you want to. I promise. You make sad trees. And the only accidents are tragedies. Yeah, instead of happy little accidents, they're all just tragedies. Dark Souls Bob Ross, says Lady Pine in the background. Never much cared for the grimdark. Even at my edgiest. Bob Ross's evil twin. Last one. It's okay. You're okay. Don't worry too much about it, son. Yeah, they're extremely vibrant, and they don't take much. Which is going to take some getting used to from me. Since I'm used to cheap. Grim Gray. The sadness loses its poignancy, right? If it's only ever bad. Look at this. This is nice. This is nice. Not neat. Tie-dyed it. This one's not as nice. But I like this one a lot. Okay, now we get like dark, 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 and I'm trying to remember where I'm at. Indigo. That's indigo, alright. I like the oppressive darkness and grow light that comes out if we just keep maybe. Blue, gray, deep. Yep. Wow. Okay, I can't look at who else watching me though. It does wig me out. Y'all can talk to me if you want to. Imperial Violet. Violet, you're turning violet. Wow, that's so purple. Guys, this is so good lord. You can't even see it, it's so purple. Oh, violet. Doesn't look purple to me, but okay. I'll trust you. I mean, I guess, but I'm coming off of the violets, dogs. This is like magenta. Yeah! Like I said, r/oddly satisfying, watch out. I'm coming for you. Lilac, you're turning lilac. Kurairo. Rose beige. I wonder if these metallics are really going to be metallic. That's what I'm kind of like gunning for right now. But honestly, great decision on my part to save this for this. This feels like a great start to my week. Burnt sienna. Why did my friend get sunburnt? There we go. Okay, now you can see the bottom row. Maroon's got more blue in it than I would usually give maroon, but okay. Yeah. That lime green is just sending me right now. That's insane. The lime green and like the cobalt violet, I think. Like this one and this one are just popping off. And I'm sure with the layering and stuff, even the ones that got mellower can get bright again. But white is white. Maybe it'll work though. I'll be optimistic. I did buy myself, the other thing that I got myself when I was doing all of this was white gold. Platinum? You mean platinum? The other thing that I got with this was a glass tip pen and then some white ink so I can do highlights better on watercolor pieces, because after you get the paint color added, it's really hard to go back over it with white, or at least with what I had been working with. Bluish gold. So I got a white tip, or a glass tip pen, and like a dip pen, and some white ink. And I had calligraphy days back in the day, so I already know I like glass tip pen, or glass pens, like dip pens. But cool. Extremely exciting. Now, watch this dry. Literally watch paint dry for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Hold tight. Okay. How's that paint drying? Now where I'm really gonna have trouble with, and I can show you I'll show you the inset too. Well, this is going. So we have our new paints. This is the white ink that I got myself. Yeah? Highly opaque is what it said. And then this one. So it came as a whole set, which is fine because I like the glass dip pens, or the dip pens anyway, so it's fine. So I have other ones, so I guess I can write people letters, so if you want me to write you a letter, I guess I can do that, that's fine. But look at this. It's goth on one side, and then it's goth rainbow on the other side. Very exciting. Huge fan. So those are my art spoils. As I seriously start taking commissions and whatnot, I figured I may as well have pieces that worked for it, instead of continuing to use children's supplies. think? The silver and the golds do actually reflect. I think you can kind of see it in the corner where it's dried in this one. It's not showing up in the water so much yet, in the wet one still yet. Very exciting. So, now I just have to figure out how to balance everything while I try to work on stuff. We have... The porch is open, honey! Luce is pressing buttons. Put the pen away. Don't need it right now. And then looks legit. Not that even your colorblind. I mean, that's high praise, Doji. That's high praise. So we have my friend's games achievements that will pop up like achievements do. You are all right, my dear. We are going through, we talked about the stars. Feel free to ask any follow-up questions you may have, Story. But now I have gone through my new art supplies. Look at these watercolor palette that I have. We filled this in. It's very lovely, and the metallics are actually metallic. It's fascinating. You did miss the swatching, but it'll be here. You can go back and watch it. But here's the swatches. These are the end results. Very exciting. And now we have my friend's games achievements. And we can go through it. So it's a dice game that's a little bit like Yahtzee, where you're trying to get like full houses and 3 of a kinds and all of the matching ones. But there's a color element added to it and a few other things, and is cat and dog themed. He said he wanted it out in the next 2 months. I won't have time to get all of the art for it done, but I was going to finish the achievements and have the cover page. So, we have here just the default dice pack. Frame that I know, and so I have it like right here on my side as like a reference, so I can figure out which one's which. But it's hard to get things here without a lot of taxes added to them, so we had a friend's parents come through from the US and I had them buy it for me and bring it down. But yeah, it's really pretty. And hang on, now that it's drying you can see the metallics a little bit better. See if I can do that. You see that okay? There's like a platinum and a gold and a warm gold. I don't know where I want to start. I know exactly where I want to start. So this achievement is called, down here at the very bottom, is called Has Cloning Gone Too Far? And I thought it would just be fun to have a bunch of cat faces, and they're all just varying shades of orange. So let me see if I can angle this in a way where you can see me painting it. I do draw from the side. I write from the side too. There we go. That'll do. Now I don't really... Probably gonna keep it pretty light for this time until I get the feel of these paints, because like I said, I'm used to working with children's paints basically, so we'll see how it goes. But I thought it would be really funny if these guys were all just various shades of orange cat. We'll start. We're just gonna go for it. And then I'll go through, I'm not gonna worry about the line art right now, I'll go through and redo it if I need to. It's not too bad. But really, this one is the one that I've been looking forward to coloring in the most. because I saw a video on Instagram of a cat that had like 8 kittens, and they were all just different shades of orange cat. Like one was a bright orange, and one was a peach, and one was a cream. There was one that was like a straight up white, but like it was just all different orange tones. And I loved them, every single one of them. And my cat is a soft peach baby, and it was just too funny to pass up. Ochre would be a good orange cat color. Ooh, that was just me picking up the pigment that I already got wet. That's thick. We're learning this together. You and me and we. There we go. Thin this out a little bit. Yeah. A printer with various stages of ink was what that cat and her kittens looked like. She was orange too, like just a straight up orange. So now is the portion where I think Lady Lapine turned on some background music, but if you want to put on your own, feel free to, and just kind of hang out. I'm here to talk. I'm here to hang out. We're painting, we can talk about stars. Whatever you want to do. The cat just sneezed in the background, bless you. I know that Lady Lapine was talking about for when he gets his urge to sing in our evening tarot streams. She was thinking about making a button that she could press that just flashed up a picture of him yowling that like vibrated a little bit. That seemed like a very good idea. Point. Point. Pigment is insane for watercolor. I think I picked alright, it's just gonna take a little bit of getting used to. I want a crunch wrap so bad. Oh my god. I would absolutely murder for a crunch wrap right now. Point baby. It's like the first thing that I like craved from the US after we moved was Taco Bell. They don't have them here. I think the nearest one is in Chile. They did just recently open up a KFC though, so it's only a matter of time, and I realize that, but iPad kid, sticky fingers vibe. What color do we think our centerpiece cat should be? Should he be like peak orange, or should we do something different? This one, our main character. Opened up like 4 to 5 years ago. Yeah. And there's one in Chile, and then the KFC opened last year, I think. Mm-hmm. And I know like yellow cats like this don't really exist, but we're just gonna pretend. We're just gonna have fun. Vaguely fantasy setup anyway. Had Wendy's and a Popeyes last month. Wow. I like Popeyes' chicken sandwiches. The orangest or the most mellow one? Okay. The main character should, in fact, stand out. You're right. I was also thinking that, right? But... straight up Chester Cheetah, let's go. And we did get an oversaturated boy up there, but we can fix this in post. One second, just the basic colors down. With him, I'll keep him from just being plain orange. I'll give him like some little stripes up top on his head or something. Don't have any. Give it time, son. The U.S. fast food machine is a force to be reckoned with, as I understand. So. Trying to decide. Cyan is fairly orange. Let's start. We'll do it. We'll do a test. We'll do a test background baby and see how this does. Oh, that's all right. Oh, he's peeking. Gang, he's peeking. There he is. Lying in wait. On YouTube, they have a no AI lo-fi mix thing that has an axolotl as the mascot. That's what I've been putting on lately. That was what I was putting on when Miss May was down and we had to do the audio-free streams. That was what I gave her. They were very good. The little axolotl has jellyfish friends. They go on the bus together. What color is that? That was... Oh, okay. At some point they cut to him doing a phone call in a phone booth like it's the 90s. He even knows how to extend his phone calls. I didn't know axolotls live that long. How does he know how to use those? I thought that was lobsters that could live forever. That's too much, that's too red. I'll have to go back and brown that out a little bit. Oof, it's okay. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about it. Nope. Don't worry about it. God's obsession with crabs is very concerning. It's true. Everything become crab. No. That's not working out the way I wanted it to. That's okay. Give them a little sheen. Crabs and lobsters. I think it is though that ostensibly, unless it's like they get sick or something, lobsters can theoretically live forever. Like their body would never stop just producing what they need to live. It's just illness and eating and fighting and everything else is what takes them out. Sorry, they're at such a bad angle, but there's where we're at so far. Let's test out this way. Kitty cats. Yeah, sorry, I picked the one that is the absolute worst angle to be working on to start with, but I've been looking at it all week going, I want to color that in so badly. Absolutely all week. I did the line art and I said, yes, this might be my finest piece that I'll have ever done. Mm. Need more peach boys. My magnum opus, Doji. You don't understand. I'll never surpass this. Oh my god, I just remembered sometimes orange cats have spots. Calicos are a thing. Oh my god. Yeah, the gang's all here, Story. Gang is all here. Spots. But enough hot talk. Paint at you? I don't know, that's a stretch. We're stretching, but it's okay. I'm still having a good time with this stretch, it's fine. And Miss Lady Lapine is behind me working on her stuff. We're just having a little crafting session all together. Parallel play. Oh baby. I do feel like, I mean, there's so many opportunities to quote it. That's such a good line to quote. Like, no judgment. Really good vampire game. I don't know. Vampire game? It is a vampire game. Yes, I do highly recommend Symphony of the Night, but I assume that Doji has already played Symphony of the Night. I mean, yes, it is a recommendation, but it is one that I don't know. can't argue with your logic, but like gimme. Symphony of the Night is gimme. Anybody cooked anything good lately? Anybody got any good, like, recipe ideas? Had to beat the real Dracula in the inverted castle. See, it's the gimme. I think I finished it in college, but I don't really remember. I started playing it again and I got up into a little bit of the inverted castle, but I didn't finish it on that run. We were still in Seattle. I do need to go back and play it, but my PlayStation 2's in Seattle now. Masquerade Bloodlines too. V Rising has so much, but it needs more and more. Feels very weird to just... Well, I mean, clearly the answer then, Doji, is for you and me to put our brains together and make our own vampire game. It's not enough of them. Miss May is absolutely right. There needs to be more. There's always needs to be more vampire games. And I feel like you and me would be up for the task. And your bloodline and my unhealthy obsession with Anne Rice, I think we're up for it. Yeah, all right. Sounds great. And I'm sitting on a world of things, like a whole slew of things, but what I really need to do is, like, train myself out of exclusively role-playing. And, like, actually write more than short stories by myself. Construct your own castle and speedy combat, but what else could it have? Okay, Lady Lapine is pitching us. Here we go. What do you think? A dress-up mode. Doji. A dress-up mode. Or at least a character creator, right? That, like, you can decide what kind of vampire you want to look like. Like, do you want to be a Nosferatu type? I wouldn't. I could be a beautiful, beautiful boy. But I'm sure that there would be some people out there, they would be wrong, but there would be some people out there who might want to be the creepy Nosferatu type. Some people might err towards Bela Lugosi. Again, I think they're wrong when I could be all frills and lace and beautiful, luscious hair, but, like, they could go for that. Like, that's fine. We go flying around as a bat, yes. Here we go. Each vampire archetype, right? So we pick which vampire archetype we want. And each vampire archetype comes with their own strengths and weaknesses. So you have your Nosferatu type, you have your Bela Lugosi type, you have your Anne Rice type, you have the con to Bela Lugosi's vampire is that he's already dead. Miss May does bring up a very, very valid point. Anyway. That got me.
I'm being so serious, I didn't know Bela Lugosi was a vampire.
Yeah, he did like the Dracula that everybody thinks of.
Oh, that's the author?
No, the author is Bram Stoker. I'm talking like the OG Dracula movie.
Oh.
When you think of vampire, like Dracula TM, like the old movie type?
That was the actor.
Yes.
I thought it was just like a girl who died.
No, Bela
wow.
Lugosi is literally the actor. Anyway, so yeah, you can make a customization system that encompasses all of that, right? Like, absolutely, but like, yeah, so you get your Anne Rice vampires, and they come with like super speed and whatever, right? But they can't, I don't know. Her vampires can do everything. I think they need hobbled in some way, but that's fine. We can work on that. But like, if you go literal like Bram Stoker Dracula, he can turn into a wolf, he can turn into a bat, he can turn into a cloud of smoke, he can scale walls. Anne Rice's vampires are just easy.
Easy mode.
I guess that could be easy mode. But I don't want... I don't know. I don't want Anne Rice's vampires to be easy mode. I feel like each one should...
Hurtful.
It's emotionally hurtful, that's right. Choose your own powers and such, so you can choose what you need. For your own fans. Yeah! Maybe. I don't know. I gotta think on this one. But... But I think we can do something. I think this is doable. I'm feeling good. Nighttime does definitely give you a buff. Balance the build by adding a negative that you want. Yeah, that's true. Okay. Every 2 to 3 good traits, you need a bad one. Yeah. And it's hard mode where you just accept all of the bad ones that come with, like, old lore. May in the background here just whispering sicko mode to herself. Add according to the negatives too. Okay, okay. That's fine. I can work with that. But I still feel like we need to give a nod to each of the vampire archetypes and at least have like their default settings be based on aesthetics. And then obviously you can go through and modify it, right? But like, if you have the OG Dracula, you get the bat and the fog and the wolf and the everything else, and you can survive in the daylight, you're just weak and all of that, but the garlic you can't do, and the crosses and stuff you can't do, and you have to have your dirt with you and stuff, and you can bypass all of that with the super speedy ones, and but then the trade-off with the Anne Rice vampires is no sunlight at all, etc. kind of thing. See, but in like the actual novel, the
You've engaged something.
the actual novel, the mobility skills can be a lot like with blood you get to. Yes, it does. But like your default, right? Like if you went with Bram Stoker's Dracula, he could go out in the sun. The thing with him though, and this is probably, if you know this, ignore me, but like the thing with him though was that he could not change. So whatever status he was at, like he was at his weakest form and he could not transform anymore. Like, so if he was in his human form, he was stuck in his human form. He could go to bed, but like he could also be out. And like he was stalking people a little bit when he was doing that. And so, yes, you're weaker in the sun. Like I feel like you would take 2 or 3 times damage if you went with Dracula, and you could be out in the sun, but like if you got hit, you would get like a lot more damage, right? And then, but you know, like he couldn't do the garlic, he couldn't do the crucifixes, he couldn't do all of that, right? So like those are weaknesses. But then you get to the Anne Rice vampires, and the garlic and the crucifixes and stuff don't do anything. But then the sun is a one-hit KO, right? Like, so you've got that. And I love vampires. I want to grow up to be a vampire. I ever tell you about what happened to me in New Orleans? I feel like I'm chosen by Anne Rice herself sometimes. We can talk about that if you want to, but it was after she died, so I've never met her in real life, but man, I did something. If souls are a thing, I think hers knows that I exist. Disco Elysium type skill system where you have default classes, but you can also create your own build. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. You would like to hear more about that? Okay, well, settle in. Settle in, kids. You're getting a story. So, for a birthday, I had a milestone birthday a few years back, and I went to, or I picked for like, because we have a weird birthday, it's like on a holiday weekend and stuff, at least in the US. And so, instead of having birthday parties, which are always dismal failures when we were younger, Lady Lapine and I like to take vacations. So for my 30th birthday, we went to Salem, Massachusetts. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I would live there in a heartbeat if the US was not in the state that it is in. And then for Lady Lapine's, we went to New Orleans. Now, I grew up, the 1994 version of Interview with a Vampire starring Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise is like a pillar of my entire like childhood development. My aunt really likes the Anne Rice vampire series. So whenever a new one came out when I was growing up, we'd always get her a first edition copy. Like we watched that movie a couple of times a year at least, probably. And I tried and failed to read Interview and the Vampire Lestat when I was 10 or 11 or something, but it was like, I don't know, it wasn't that it was necessarily above my reading level. I was already at like a college reading level by then, but like, I don't know, for some reason it just wasn't sticking. And I think it's because they did such a good job with the movie, like the 1994 one. They did such a good job that it makes Interview the book kind of boring if you've seen it so many times, because you're like, I know how the story goes. I think they missed like 2 scenes out of the whole damn book. Anyway, long story short, she's a crux of my like childhood development. I've gotten through like the first 6 or 7 books so far. I started like seriously, like I had a revival. Like at first for a while I thought it was cringe, and then I had about 27 or 28 and I was like, nothing is cringe anymore. Cringe is dead. I'm gonna go back to the things I love. And also that was when they did the like whenever I got back into it, was also like a little bit before, like I knew it was coming, the TV series they've been working on of Interview. Also excellent. I have one singular note, and it is not even that big of a deal. But anyway, so
Big enough to feel that you flip.
it is big enough that it is a personal big deal. It is not a I am critical of it as a whole. I think it is a flaw for its production series. It is just a personal chip on my own shoulder that I carry, and I realize that that's a me problem. Right, I am fully aware that my one issue with this TV series is a me problem. Anyway, so right before it came out, I was like, cool, I'm actually gonna sit down and finish reading all of this. So I went through and I burned through like the first 6 books. And then I've been chipping away at them, but then I was like trying to read them in order, and like I'm trying to like read them in here's a doozy, in chronological order to also match up with the Mayfair Witch series. So it's been a pain because I'll get through a dent of it, and then I'll get to like, oh, I need to read the Mayfair Witch. I've been like on the first book of the Mayfair Witches for like 2 years now because I've had to move and I've had a whole lot of other stuff going on. So anyway, she's pulp fiction, Anne Rice says, but she's my pulp fiction. And I love her to pieces. I love her vampires. I love her lore. I love her so much that, the truth be told, I don't like Lestat, like as a character, but I love the stories enough so much, and it's a high praise for me when I'm like, I don't like you, but I'm interested enough to keep going, and I realize that, like, again, it's a me thing, right? Armand is my favorite. So, anyway, we go to New Orleans for a 30th birthday. I've been there before. I grew up like 5 hours away, so I'd been there a couple of times before. I love it. It has my heart. If and when we ever go back to the US, it will either be to New Orleans or to Salem, Massachusetts. Like, there is no in between. Those two places are like, they have my heart. When people go, what do you miss about America? I go, the proximity to Mexico, Boston, Massachusetts, New Orleans, and Taco Bell. That is about it. Anyway, so we went to New Orleans a couple of years ago. And this was right after, I think it was about the year after Anne Rice had died. And we go there. I hadn't been in years. And I was joking the whole time, like just packing up. And I like historical costuming and stuff like that. And a lot of the aesthetics that they have in there, like in the old movie and stuff, I really like. So I'm packing up. And I've got my costumes. It's Halloween week. And you're supposed to be dressed up for it anyway, so it's fine. It's literally our first night there. I think I'm a little bit tipsy. We weren't on Bourbon Street or anything like that, but we had gone somewhere. I'm a little bit tipsy, or I'm just feeling good and happy or something, and I just kind of like yell up at the sky, Anne Rice turned me into a vampire. You know, just like, I'm here now, come get me. So at some point I make it a point to go to her mausoleum and I'll leave her flowers. And we're hitting up all the spots and stuff too. Like, I have like a hit list of places that I want to go throughout the French Quarter and stuff that are relevant. And there is a vampire themed cafe that we went to, and they had an advertisement in the window. No, it's not the speakeasy yet. It's the cafe that we went to first. It was like a restaurant. And you can get sangria in little blood vials, like little blood pint things. It's very funny. And oh, am I? No? My camera's frozen. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you story time anyway. So anyway, so we go to this restaurant that's vampire themed. They're all humoring me because they know, like, it's me and Lady Lapine and 2 of our closest friends, and the camera's frozen, and they know that this is like one of my favorite things in the world. So they're willing to humor me about a lot of things. We do a tour that is of the house, like the historical aspects of the house that they filmed the new first season in, where Lestat and Louis were living. We go to the restaurant and there's a sign in the window. You need me to move? And it's saying like, oh, get your customized like vampire teeth something to fit, like built to fit, like it's dental grade acrylic, like it's really good. They're called fangsmiths, and like the people who do them, and the fangs that they make are very expensive, but they're meant to last for forever. they are using the same materials they would use to make like dentures with and stuff, right? They're built to fit your teeth only, etc., etc. And I'd been thinking about it for a long time. Like, I'd been thinking about this for years, right? Like, I'd had my eyes on them for years, basically. And I'd never done it. But we went to... Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay. I didn't touch anything. I'm having some...
Continue your... But I'm...
Okay. Sure, I'll try to continue. Anyway, so we go to that, and I'm like eyeballing it, and it's like our first or second day there. We're here for a week. I'm eyeballing it, and our friends are like, just do it. It's around your birthday. Go do it. That's fine. No, I'm good. I'm good. It's really expensive. I already know it's expensive. Etc., etc. They have a whole bunch of vampire-themed shops and stuff. We go. We're puttering around. I keep looking at the Fangsmith sign every time we walk past this cafe because it's like within walking distance to where we are, and it's in between a lot of places that we want to go. Do I just not get a camera? Sorry, story time's hard right now.
Keep going.
I'm trying. It's hard to think.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're looking at it. I keep looking at it. I keep thinking about it. Our friends keep like, you should ask. You should see how much it costs. You should do it, you know, because I've been thinking about it. And I was like, no, it's really expensive. It's your birthday. You're in New Orleans. What are the odds, right? So there's this one. I guess we're about halfway through our trip. We're leaving in like 3 or 4 days, maybe 2 or 3 days. I don't remember. But anyway, we're about halfway through the trip, and we go into this little. And we go back to the restaurant, right, to actually ask. Like, I finally break because I've been just ruminating on it for days and days and days. And we go back to the restaurant and we're like, hey, can we talk to the Fangsmith? And they're like, well, he's not here right now. What you want to do is you want to go to this, it's like the Boutique du Vampire or something like that. It's a few blocks away. We go get a ride. It's just a little tourist trap, right? It's a little haunted tourist trap, like vampires versus werewolves, and they have like some of the best black matte. There we go. Okay. Oh, there we go. It's lighting up again. Oh. Okay. Hi, here we are. Honey, it's okay. There we go. Okay. Sorry, the audio dropped. We had a bunch of little errors. Anyway, so we go to this cafe. We're asking about where we can go, if we can talk to the Fangsmith, and they're like, you go to the Boutique du Vampire to get the information that you need. So we go, And we go to the Boutique de Vampire, and we're looking at it, and my friend buys the best matte lip gloss that I've ever seen. It holds like literally for 10 hours. Anyway, incredible, 10 out of 10, no notes. I think it's called like Ink Stain or something. Yeah, here we are, hi. Sorry about that. I guess Mercury shadow period, I don't know. But everything all broke at once, but we're okay. So we go to the boutique, and I'm too nervous to really ask about anything, but someone is brave for me and asks, and the lady behind the counter goes, yeah, let me call him. And ask what kind I want. I go with the interview type, which is like a row of like, you've seen the pictures, I'm like, you have your front teeth, which are normal, and then the 3 after them on the top are sharp, right? So it's a total of 6 teeth, I think, that are sharp. Anyway, so they want someone's calling, they want the interview fangs, etc., etc. I kind of fuss a little bit, but he's like, yeah, they can take you. So it turns out this guy, but it was like same day, right? So I had like 3 hours to get the money together, like from an ATM and stuff, to get the money together and get ready to go do these fangs. Because it turns out he was on his last client for the day, and he made an exception for me to stay on a little bit longer to take my little order. And he was flying out to Texas literally the next day. So I got his last spot for the foreseeable like 2 or 3 weeks basically. Same day. And while we were there at the boutique, we got invited to a vampire themed speakeasy that you have to have a password to get into. So within the course of like 48 hours, I got myself some really fancy like costume, like professional costume, dental grade vampire fangs. I'm on cloud 9 throughout the whole time. I had my friend with me, and I couldn't really talk because obviously you're having things fit to your teeth, but she was just cracking dad jokes the whole time. And the guy, you could tell, like, he wasn't annoyed with us at all, but it was like the very like, I'm angry that I'm amused by you kind of. Anyway, he liked us, long story short, because she just kept telling us bad dad jokes. And I got the fangs, and the next day we got to go to this vampire themed speakeasy. At some point in all of that, we got to go visit her mausoleum, and I was just flabbergasted that I got the guy's last spot that he made special for me to get those fangs. I was like, did Anne Rice actually turn me into a vampire? So it's not a huge story, but it meant a lot to me, and I think about it a lot. So anyway, I have very fancy teeth now that I'll wear sometimes. They get kind of uncomfortable after a while. I don't wear them often, but I really like vampires. That's the whole story. And I'm not the best storyteller, but it's fun. And that is that. She's huge for me, like an idol. As close to a vampire as possible, yeah, after I yelled it into the sky with a week's notice. I did not develop a sun allergy, so like that's great. And as close to a vampire comfortably as possible. I'm like, heck yeah, thank you, Anne. Right, so it was in fact lucky. So I'm just like, maybe she heard me. Maybe she heard me. You want to be a vampire? Okay, kid, here you go. I would brag. I was ascending, basically. Like, there's not really a better way to put it. I was just... Oh. Add to the fact that the guy seemed to have had a string of bad clients and was just really fussy and seemed to have had a bad day, and he liked us. I was like, that's cool. That's great. I'm glad that me and my friends' hijinks can bring you some joy, even if it comes with eye rolls. That's my Anne Rice story. I really like vampires. I always have. And it's my goal in life to grow up to be one. So, what does that mean? Oh. that I was reading, because I do a lot of writing and stuff on the side too, but I've always struggled with like expounding upon my thoughts. I write kind of tersely, so I'm really good at like short stories and stuff, but I can't really, because everything you ever read for writing is like, get to the point, don't keep your readers waiting, and so on and so forth. So I have a really hard time. I call it like literarily manspreading, basically. I struggle with that, but then I'm like reading Mayfair Witches and stuff, and God love her, right? Like, I am obviously reading it and having a great time, but I'm like, I don't need all of this information. So, you know, it's a 1,000-page book, and 90% of it is just going over like a family history that could be like maybe half the size. And I'm like, okay, I see. Okay, this is what I need to do. So, if she can teach me how to do that, that'd be great. And it seems like she is. I was just reading it, and I'm like, this is a lot of information that I am still on board for, but wow. I don't know that this would fly in a creative writing class. But I love her to pieces. She's great. And I don't know, I also grew up with a lot of like the religious conflict and stuff, and I wish I had her audacity. To do with it what she did. But is the warm one? Okay. You have to have one gold cat, right? You're a little lucky gold cat. Let's see. We're gonna let them dry and see what that does, and then I'll go over it with gold if I need to again. You would brag. I mean, now though, Sin, I just get to brag by like, I call it being a, because again, I like a lot of like the old costumey stuff. So when I was like yelling at Anne Rice in the sky, I was fully dressed in my best like crossover between like a goth colonial kind of look. I don't know. Anyway, now I just put on that outfit and do the details as they need to be done and call myself a biblically accurate Anne Rice vampire. So that's my little way of bragging. I had to leave her a little offering after I got home. A lucky golden one. Aww. You send me pictures. Let's see babies. Oh, I think the mic that tracks my little face is out. Don't tell Lady Lapine. That's okay. Woo. So y'all can see what I'm doing. You can see. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. We're good. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Always down to talk about vampires. Rice's Vampires, Armand is my favorite. And take a little umbrage to... I love Antonio Banderas, don't misunderstand me, but he should not have been Armand. The Mask of Zorro with him and Catherine did. Zeta-Jones was like an awakening. Like, The Mask of Zorro did for me what The Mummy did to everybody else. Like, don't get me wrong, I like The Mummy. But that was Mask of Zorro for me. With him and Catherine Zeta-Jones. Everybody else's spiritual awakening movie. Let's talk about it, for better or for worse. Interview of a Vampire gave me what gender euphoria would look like, and Mask of Zorro gave me what The Mummy gave everybody else. And you had some time to reflect on from what you wanted in life, and you reached a conclusion, but it was a change in course you didn't expect too much. Was that within like the last 5 minutes? Or was this a movie that you had a spiritual awakening about and I'm just not seeing what it was? In the last week. Okay, because I was wondering about spiritual awakening movies, but that is okay too. That sounds very on brand with the horoscope stuff that's been happening. You are welcome to talk about it here or elsewhere or not at all if you were, however you are so inclined. everything okay? Though, I will say you do have to answer that. As your friend. What the hell? It's fine. I need you to elaborate a little bit more then. Like, what? You owe a lot to that game. Okay. What are we owing? Elaborate for sure. Yeah, Sin's on my side here. What? A likely story. No, I think that's probably on purpose, Sen. Don't be too embarrassed. It sounds very deliberate. I have a sneaking suspicion you and I have nothing to be embarrassed about. How are we feeling about our cats of varying degrees of orange? A lot about class system, organized crime, dealing with the difference into private, the work, and the public. A lot about accepting yourself. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, there's a big Steam sale going on right now. Spring sale. The main thread is a guy who works for the Yakuza because his father owed them money and now he's making back the money. Oh, okay. Yeah, if he's in the Yakuza, then the joke is absolutely intentional. Interesting. know I've been really struggling to play video games lately because I feel like I could be doing so many other things right now. And that I should be doing them. So I need my friends who take the time to play said video games to tell me about the video games. Like, I want to play them in theory, but I'm like, there's just such a time suck that I feel guilty. Got other things to do. Like paint this, and teach English, and try to write a book. Yeah, no, absolutely. I see the merit behind it. It's not me going, I need to make games. No, it's not nothing like that. It's just for me personally, it's like a I already feel like I'm falling behind anyway. Like logically I know that I'm not. But in time, once I catch up a little bit, I'll probably have some more time. Weaseled my way out of that one. Huh. I'm like really working on like being conscious about where I consume media, which again, video games are fine. I mean more like mindlessly watching YouTube and stuff, but I've got so much catch up to do and a whole bunch of other different things I feel like that I'm like, I don't have time! Or I'll start playing and be like, feeling guilty. And it comes in waves, right? Like, there'll be times that I can pick something up. I really want the new Katamari Damacy very badly. But, again, just the that I hold myself up to. That is unhealthy. How do we feel about these orange boys? How we feeling about them? How's this? What do we think? For now, I might touch it up later. Ooh, look at how crisp that's showing up. Dang. Let me know what you think. Spilled water on it early. Got some going. Hello, everyone. The orange is strong. Yes, the orange is so strong. It's crazy. Let's try a different color. Let's see. I'll try this color because it's Miss May's favorite color, so it's near and dear. Let's see what we got. Needs a bit more shadow. Yeah, right now I'm not worried about shadow for that one in particular. I was kind of basing it off of the cats in Azumangadayo. They're just very flat. But I might go back and add more shadow, yeah. you see this a little better? Yeah, there you go. The meaningful things that take some effort, and when I'm trying to get into it, I always think there are other things that need that type of... Yeah. There's a lot of why am I not even wasting my time, but I could be doing other things right now. There's a lot of that feeling. But again, it's not for any particular work kind of purpose, right? So... Yeah, I'll have to learn how to play with the shading and stuff on this one a little bit. Since I've never really played with this brand before. Because after the ultramarine pale... Wait. Yeah. What I've been trying to do lately is start reading audiobooks again. When I'm like walking to places or when I'm cooking or something. It helps a lot. My deliberate and conscious consumption of things. Oh, that's my purple. Interesting. Wait a minute. Still learning which colors where. Okay. Alright, and this maroon was a little redder than I expected it to be. So we'll start with a base color and then I'll make it a little browner with the second layer. That's what I'm gonna do. So, given what we know about the week, Doji is going to work on an AMV project. I need to work on this and a cover page, and I would like to write. We've got some it's not upholstering. It's a something though. Not refurbishing. Renovation. Is there anything else going on? I think we're gonna get our nails done this week too. It's long overdue. I got some pretty gnarly overgrowth going on. Also, my nails are like just too long and it's been running me crazy for a few days now. Alternatively, we can just keep talking about vampire. What's your favorite vampire? Why? I will say, for as much as I love Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I don't like that that Dracula can have a child. Vampires don't make much sense to me, but... There we go. That's a good color. It's really strange how, like, strangely, like, pigmented but translucent these paints are. That's gonna take some getting used to. It's going alright. How are you doing? We talked about some astrology for the week, and now we're working on some painting for a commission that I've gotten. How are things for you? And we're kind of talking about vampires, so chip in your 2 cents if you're so inclined. I'm here for another 20 minutes or so, just kind of working on this and open to suggestion. I got this lovely new watercolor paint set. To try to make this nice, instead of the little kid set that I've been working on for so long. I am unfortunately out of coffee, but should be good. Darcy, the week ahead is good for getting things started. Good for cleanup and tackling a to-do list if there's anything you've been ignoring. Big vibe, but there's this thing that I read once, and they called it, needling tasks, like a needle, like a sewing needle, of things that don't take long, but you just kind of dread it and make a monster out of a molehill, and you don't do it, and you don't do it, and then you do it, and it takes like 5 minutes. And then it's done, and you can stop worrying about it. It feels like a week for that. Good week, get the needle done. There's a couple of things I've been really putting off. Ugh. I don't wanna. Hello! Good morning, yeah, with the time change. You've been able to catch me. Hello! How are you doing, Rowan? Anything good? Our week ahead for astrology looks like a good time to tackle a to-do list. Especially starting Wednesday. I'll post the stuff in the Discord after we're done here today. You're up early. Is anything going on? I mean, I can talk about zombies too. I can absolutely talk about zombies. I had a huge stint of that in my early 20s. So maybe, Rowan, all the tarot cards have been telling you to rest to get you ready for this week in particular. Now you can finally go do it. We are playing with a commission that I got from a friend for the game that he's going to release. It's some kind of cross between Yahtzee and some other things. He's going to release it before I have time to do all of the art, but I'm trying to get the achievements and the cover screen out of the way. Date everything. I've wanted to play that. How is it? I love I don't like dating games, but I like it when they get really subversive and also goofy. Either one or both. Both is also very good. Yeah, the zombie era is fun. Small social plans today, but mostly chilling. Yeah, that's good. Starting Wednesday, we've got some good stars for getting to-do list done. Yeah, the zombie era is a lot of fun. I think this is the last game that I really got into. I've been over the shoulder watching Lady Lapine play Wobble Dogs. The last game that I got into. Oh, that's fun. Okay, yeah. What's the last game that I got? You can't even see what I'm painting right now for just this angle. I'm sorry. There was a card shop management simulator. I think that was the last thing that I like really spent a lot of time in. It is one of my fortes. I don't even want to lie. But it's not what I want to be one of my fortes. How's that? I like cozy games a lot, but I also like character interaction and story development, not just literally managing things, but I have a soft spot for just the management simulators like that. But I have to be careful because they eat up so much time after you get to a certain point in the game. And I'm like, okay, well then you can only play one game, or one day. After that you have to be done, because all of the setup that it takes to play that one day, because you're so far in the game, it takes like 2 or 3 hours just to do the one day, because you've got to like check all the prices and order all the stock and make sure everything's all situated. Crimson Desert. Gave in as soon as I realized Stars Dragon. What I've been doing to get the game itch is I found a Argentinian fellow that plays video games in like simplified Spanish for me to like keep up with and practice, and so that way I'm still getting my like let's play fix in, but I'm also quote unquote doing something productive. Just studying, and honestly though it like has helped a lot. My Spanish is coming along, but I don't get enough opportunity to practice it. So. And I do like watching Let's Play, so it's nice to feel like it's being useful. Instead of just watching somebody play a video game, which, again, completely fine. I just have too much to do. Ugh. Switching up the light. Yes, it is. It really is. Oh, Rowan, I'll show you too. I got a new paint set. I'm not just working off of a little kids thing that I was working on, so here's all the paint swatches that we did earlier. Isn't it dreamy? The metallics are actually metallic. You can't really see it from here, but the metallics are actually metallic. And it's like my first real watercolor set. Oh, we got some game wrecks happening. Wonderful. Yeah, we had some friends with family coming over, and I asked them to bring this down to me. I'll take a picture of it and post it in our Discord so that everybody can just admire just the paint swatches. Very delightful to go back and actually like do all of it though. So after this is done, if you just need that, like, r/, oddly satisfying, once this publishes and stuff, you can just go back and rewatch that while I was doing it. It was so fun to do. Oh, the mushroom quest. You'll have to keep us keep us in the loop on your quests, Doji. We also need to set up some more near time. Sorry about that too. I've been a little bit swamped with things. Oh, you're getting stuck in quest hell. Good old side quest hell. Still pretty pink, actually, if I remember. I haven't forgotten, and I do want to keep going. I'm just... Ugh, last week absolutely ruined me. And like I was telling everybody at the start of this, I had like half of my notes made up for the astrology portion of stuff, and my anxiety usually poses things as a question, but this came out in my chest. Like I was halfway through about an hour until I did the stream, and then just deep in my chest was a like loud, reverberant no. Well, that's my cue. Hoping this week will be a little bit better. It should be. Like all signs point to it should be fine. But ooh-wee. It was rough. I was like, cool. I'll take the day to rest, and then the washer drain pipe started leaking, or like started overflowing. No rest. It's over. Nothing's in retrograde anymore. Oh. Full steam ahead, I hope. Yeah, I'm glad I did too, but it is very unusual to have such a strong, like, I explain it to people as the difference for me between intuition and anxiety is anxiety poses it as a question, right? Usually a what if question, and intuition is a statement. And so like it was in fact a useful thing. So we had to deal with the the overflow, this backup, but in the end it turned out fairly minor. It was just crazy timing. But yeah, you weren't here for that, Rowan. It was deep, very white kind of voice. Crazy. I was like, am I going insane? I guess I'll listen to it. Is this psychosis? I don't know what this is. It's something. I'm proud of my cat's idea down here, and I'm proud of this little guy. This little palm. Like Raven from that summer. Yeah. Uh-oh. Did the camera freeze again? Oh well, that's okay. We are at time anyway. So I will take that as my cue from the powers that be, and I will get a nice little picture of the paint swatches because it's very exciting. I really like this little set so far. I'll take a picture and share it with folks of my progress too, so let me know what you think. If you have any questions about anything, or if there's anything that I can do to help, because I am fond of every one of you that I can see in my 7 watching now. If there's anything you need, you know where to find me. So holler if you need me. I'll be around. I'll get the notes for the week ahead coming up here soon. And since we're just kind of done with the camera acting up and stuff, I accidentally kicked a cord. It's probably my fault somewhere. So I'm gonna cut it here. Rowan, go back and watch the paint swatching. Let me know what you think. I've gotten a potion from the head of a giant ant creature to give to the children to appease them. Ah, yes, as one does. So I will talk to you all later. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll get those notes up. You think it looks great? No questions. Alright, well, you know where to find me if you do. So, I'll talk to y'all later. Oh, and tarot on Monday. Art in the morning and tarot in the evening. So, we'll see you later. Later, nerds.